to a lot of filmmakers in this world. This pandemic has brought immense uncertainties. The studios are not functioning properly. Things have completely gone haywire. Not too many people know what is the way forward. But whether pandemic or non-pandemic, change is the only constant in life. Even though my own personal filmic journey has not been for a very long period, but of course I come from that period when I have seen the celluloid films being shot using celluloid. I'm born in the era of the 70s. So I've seen films being projected on the screen using the projector machine. And now I'm in this era where everything is streamed on your mobile phone. Even some of the movies have been shot using a mobile phone. In fact, I've been one such director who have been shooting movies. The last 3 of my movies are shot entirely with a mobile phone or an iPhone. So things are changing, times are changing, the dynamics are changing. So what is the way forward? People keep asking, what clicks, what doesn't click? I have this question inside my mind, which I keep on asking myself. In the so many years of existence and right from the time filmmaking as a serious craft or art started off, we have seen 2 main themes that runs the show. Girl meets boy, boy meets girl, they fall in love with each other, there is a crisis, family crisis, there is chauvinism, there is femininity, or else you have war, you have a country fighting against another country, war is glorified. I don't see any other theme other than this theme as mainstream. Of course there are other movies, great Hollywood, Indian movies, European movies, Mexican movies, South American movies, which have been, which has captured unique themes, unique stories. But I keep on asking myself, aren't there enough stories to be told other than the boy meets girl crisis or a political crisis? Doesn't the cosmos have enough stories that needs to be discovered? Even if you look at Oscars, the Academy Awards, look at the mainstream film festival, whether it is the triumvirate of Cannes, Venice, Berlin, or you talk about any festival, all they're interested is either this or a little variation of this. So when you talk of something other than this crisis, people do not know, even the jury do not know, even the audience do not know how to accept it, how to respond to it. And I think this is where I, as a filmmaker, I'm taking giant strides. My movies are so different from each other. The themes, the storytelling, it's not typically your girl meets boy, boy meets girl, or war in country. I look at social media, and all you see when you scroll through Facebook or other social media is this angst, this pain about the separation between a man and a woman, or the gender, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. But it's basically centered around these gender stories. Isn't there anything beyond this? Can't we talk about life beyond death? Can't we talk about the larger cosmos? Can't we talk about something which is brewing inside us? Maybe it takes somebody to tell a different kind of a story. You look at the Oscars, you look at Hollywood, you look at the Academy Awards. What different? I mean, something so different, something so radical. Where is it? Something that shall shake you up. Coming back to the modus of filmmaking, change is the way forward. So we were in the era of silent movies, and from silent movies we moved to the era of the talkies, from black and white to color, cinema to the digital format, and now the OTT format, where your cinema is streamed on a mobile device. Even though we romanticize about the color of celluloid, but that cannot be mainstream anymore. You might choose to use a telephone in your office, in your home, which is a wire, but that's a fancy. You cannot carry a telephone with you with a wire, stringing all over the place. So you might do it as a fancy, you might do it as a choice, but that cannot be mainstream. So you have to accept digital is the medium forward. You have to accept that OTT is here to stay. You have to accept things are moved forward. You have to accept that a film, a story can be made with a mobile phone. There is nothing wrong with it. As long as the story is gripping, there is no problem with it. So for whoever talks to me, I tell them that concentrate on the story. It does not necessarily mean you have to wait for a celluloid camera to shoot your movie. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to have all the paraphernalia, the light equipments, everything at your disposal to tell a story. Tell a story in the most simplistic manner. If your story is unique, if your story has substance, people are going to watch it no matter what. Whether it is streamed on a theater, a 70mm theater or IMAX theater, whether it is streamed on your television set or it is streamed on your internet device, it will still be watched. And for filmmakers who romanticize about celluloid, let me tell you, if you have the means, if you have the opportunity, shoot with celluloid. There is no wrong with it. Of course, there is it gives you a feel, a different kind of a feel which is apart from digital. But you have to understand, if a technology has stuck, if a trend has caught on, that means it is here to stay. People are willing to give it a try. People are liking it. People are watching it. So just keep on telling a story. You have a Arri Alexa camera, shoot with it. You are blessed. You have a Red camera, shoot with it. You have a Canon camera, shoot with it. You have a mobile phone, shoot with it. We talk about 4K, we talk about 8K, we talk about insane 12K. These are just numbers. You can shoot with your ordinary phone. The story has to touch here. That is the basic. For people who have moved away from this, I wish to tell them, in the old days, in the ancient days, there used to be this fire and people used to sit across the fire and they used to tell stories. Cinema, as long as it has that magical quality, that magical realism, cinema is going to live. It is, even though it's an industrial art, but for the magical element, cinema is what cinema is. It is an amalgamation of art, literature, sculpture, music, everything all put together. So it will keep on changing, it will keep on evolving. Times will bring in new technologies. So today you have even till last year, you had 8K big cameras, red cameras, which were capable of shooting in 8K. Now you have an 8K recording phone, a mobile phone. Samsung does that. You have a 12K Blackmagic camera. That's fine. Shoot, just shoot with it. Even while I am, capturing this interview, this has been shot using a mobile phone. Even though I have cameras in my office, but this is convenient, this is easy to use. This is bringing the technology in your hands. So I'm using a mobile phone to shoot this interview. So have that magical realism inside your heart. If you have it, everything is beautiful. This is the kind of movies that I have been talking about. This is the Hollywood that I have believed in. Scarface. A film by Howard Hughes. You see, this is cinema. This is drama. The Spiral Staircase. A film by Robert Sedmak. In continuation of my dialogue, which I was just saying a few minutes ago, this is cinema. There is adventurism, there is drama over here. The Spiral Staircase. Out of the Past. The Lady from Shanghai, Orson Welles. Call Northside 777, James Stewart. So, like I said, when you're talking about cinema, there has to be this kind of a mystery, this kind of adventurism, this kind of a larger than life. Like I said, ending this entire conversation, summing it up, please do not talk about the equipment. Please do not talk about the size of the camera. Talk about the size of your dream, the size of your story. Think so big that you leave a lasting legacy with your story. That is cinema. That shall endure. I come from this very small town. This town which not too many people are aware of. Dhanbad, erstwhile Bihar, now Jharkhand. This small mining town. So we had this movie culture, but the movie culture was restricted either to a standalone theater, which was about quite distant away from my home, or at times once in 6 months there used to be this projection in an open field with between two bamboo poles and a white clothing, and the images used to be projected there. In the dead of the night, so it came alive with different stories. There was magic, and of course, this was cinema for me. And when I went into school and college, these images remain in my mind. When I see now people talking about cinema, it's so plastic, it's artificial. They are all talking about deep technologies. It's not organic the way cinema was organic for me. The spirit of entrepreneurship, the spirit of adventure is missing. So when I conceptualized Nez, that's the first thing that I was thinking in my mind. There has to be a spirit of adventurism. There has to be a spirit of magic. There has to be a spirit of cinema. And all throughout my journey and further beyond, I keep on thinking about this. So, when you talk about Hollywood, it doesn't come to my mind Steven Spielberg or James Cameron or whoever the recent big director is. For me, Hollywood epitomizes like Roman Empire. So Louis Mayer, Samuel Goldwyn, William Fox, Cecil B. DeMille. In India, it is Prithviraj Kapoor, then Raj Kapoor, Subhash Ghai. These are the movie Moghls that has inspired me to make something larger than life. The sound, the magic, the smell of the set of cinema, like this, it has to be so magical. That's what is missing. So in Nez, here, I keep on talking about that magic realism. For me, it's never the camera. The camera comes much later. Whether it is the cinema camera or digital camera, high-end camera, it really doesn't matter to me. I keep on asking, what is the story? For somebody who comes to me with a prospective story, asking Nez to produce it as a banner, as a producer, I try and seek, is there any magic inside it? Shall I be inspired to think, to visualize, to believe in the storytelling? If not, that the cinema, the story is dead for me. In time to come, even with this continuous changing of technology, now the television channels all have their OTT presence, the internet presence, and it's going to be going north from here. This is not a passing fad. The pandemic has shown us it's going to go bigger and bigger than this. That's why Netflix survives. That's why Disney Hotstar is there. That's why Amazon Prime is there. And that's why the other OTT channels are coming up. But no matter whatever be the size of the screen, whether it's 5 inches, 7 inches, or a 70 screen, as long as you can dream it in a large multicolor format, that's you have played the game well. That's where you have made it good. For me, this cinema, this storytelling is what is driving me towards seeking new frontiers for Nez. We have this film festival, Nez International Film Festival, which we have been running for the last 6 years. We want to make this magical. We wish to make this like a touring kind of a cinema festival. Something so big, something so enchanting. It's like I see it like some kind of a village fair. So you come together, you talk about your movies, you eat together, you dream together, you fight, you feel jealous, you fall in love, and there is something always, this human emotions that keeps on going, that keeps on driving us. That that keeps on driving me. That keeps on driving Nez. We have so many platforms coming up. I'm talking in about Nez. I'm planning to do so many things, God willing. Something that will keep on changing the world, one step at a time. And we are going to do it. Let's see, let's hope for the best. Meanwhile, keep encouraging us. I don't believe in, keeping this mantle of independent cinema always sticking to my body. That's all right. If I have not been supported adequately in my journey, that's all right. I know how to make my path. For all of you seeking this glorious life in cinema, dream, think, dream deeper, think deeper, empathize, become emotional, cry, feel emotional, feel the pain. Then cinema is bound to happen. Don't make cinema because you have to win an award. Awards are simply the byproduct of our beautiful labor. So whether your child wins at the local beauty contest or an international beauty contest, it doesn't matter. It's still your child. Your cinema should be as precious as your child. Then, my friend, you have truly made cinema. Keep watching, keep thinking.